Okay, hello. This is my movie ranking and also best of for the 2023 year. Get Out we have first. We're doing the movies first. And first we have Get Out. Get Out, honestly, probably one of my favorite movies from this year. Not I won't spoil because we do have the favorite movie section up later, but it is a very good movie, very good horror movie. I'm a little bit of a baby when it comes to horror movies. And this one I liked very, very much, and I thought it's definitely worth a watch. I give it four red geckos and a red gecko's tail. Coraline. I somehow went like my whole life without ever seeing this movie. I don't know why. I never got around to it. Got around to it really good. Really good. I watched it with a good friend of mine. I would give it four red geckos. Five Nights at Freddy's. Saw this shit day one. I saw this shit before day one. I saw this shit day zero. Let it be known. I saw this shit because I needed to see this shit. And I have since seen it three times. I've seen like 6 hours of FNAF movie. And let me tell you, this shit's peak. In reality, this shit's kinda ass. I'm not gonna lie. Like, as a movie, not that good. But as someone who really fucks with it, four red geckos and a red gecko's tail. Black Klansman. Been meaning to get around to this one. I like Adam Driver, and I like it when he does roles that aren't Star Wars. So I was like, I'll watch this movie. Movie ended up being a banger. I saw this a bit ago, so I'm a little cloudy on the memory of it. I remember it looked really good and had a really good plot. Um, Eric Foreman is racist in it, so that's whatever. I give it four red geckos. This is technically a TV show, not a movie, but I'm gonna count it anyways. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. As a person who very much likes Scott Pilgrim, I may have a vinyl, six comics, and a poster, and a game. I like the show a lot. It's not what I thought it would be. I thought the show was gonna be like a telling of the comics, but it was very much its own thing, and I kind of enjoyed that. I give it four red geckos. Too Many Cooks. This is an Adult Swim short film slash episode of something. I never really heard about it. I just heard my friend say that he watched a kill count on it, and that made me upset because it's like it's 15 minutes, dude. Just watch it yourself. So I watched it myself, and it was pretty good. It's a little silly short film horror thingy, and it's fun. It's weird, and I like that. So, like three red geckos. Um, Benny's video. Picture's really fucking bad on this one. Really weird movie, all in like German or Polish or some like other language, so you have to read the subtitles. But very disturbing. Not very disturbing, but weird movie. Cryptic as fuck. I'm probably gonna end up watching it again because I feel like I missed some stuff. I'd give it like three red geckos and a red gecko's tail. Mm, Basketball. Sorry, I just fucking short circuited. Um, I'd seen this movie like 4 or 5 years ago and thought it was really good, and I rewatched it and it's alright. It has some really good bits, but it also has some really not good bits. A lot of shit that didn't age well. Um, I'd give it like a red gecko. He drive, Ryan Gosling. Great movie. I love Ray Ray. And not much else to say. Ron Perlman's in this movie. Love myself a good Ron Perlman. Bryan Cranston. Love myself a good Bryan Cranston. Four red geckos. Pulp Fiction. Somehow never seen this either. Because I just Quentin Tarantino. I don't always like him. So I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll watch it. I watched it. It was pretty good. Four red geckos. And a red gecko's tail, maybe. Um, Blade Runner. I saw this movie 2 days ago. Haven't seen the original, but this one had Ryan Gosling, love him very much. It also had Jared Leto. Boo! But he plays a creepy dude, so he's perfectly casted. And I like this movie a lot. I give it four red geckos. That's it for the movies. Now we're on to the best of. Let it be known, For the best of in any category, it did not have to come out this year, but I had to play it for my first time, watch it for my first time, or listen to it for my first time this year. Mainly. I have some exceptions because it's my ranking and I do what I want. Number 1, best video games. Broforce, Mortal Kombat 11, TF2, Peggle 1 and 2, and Spider. Broforce, I really like that game. And honestly, thinking about it now, it probably is better than Mortal Kombat 11. It is really fun, and it was free when I got it, and it's just, oh, it's bundles of fun, and I got into speedrunning and everything. It's so much fun. Mortal Kombat 11, I like a good fighting game, and Mortal Kombat 11 is a good fighting game. I got really into that game. I 100%ed it and got every head, which if you've played the game and you know how hard it is to get the, it's not hard to get the heads, but it's so tedious. You have to get 25 fatalities on every single person, and there's like 20 people in that game. So it's like absurd the amount of like work you have to do. It's also luck. It's just annoying, but I played it a lot. TF2 I technically didn't play this year, but I've played it the most this year, and it's really fun. Love myself good TF2. Peggle, love those games. Originally that was at the 1 and 2 until I thought about Spider, but Peggle 1 and 2 both great, fun. I love them. Endless fun. I could play them for days. Spider, for those who don't know, Spider is a little tiny game I found that literally has maybe 30 players ever in its existence. I am the fastest person to ever play that game. And I fully believe that until fucking the dust settles and God's earth is no longer green, I will forever be the holder of the Spider World Record. Because I put my heart, mind, and soul into that bitch. If anyone wants to challenge me, have at it, but I'm the best at Spider, and that's what makes it the best video game of this year. Now the worst games. Slayer X. This is like a weird like Doom styled game I played. It was weird. I didn't really like it. It was whatever. For the King 2, I think it's good, but I think it's just like the first game again. And it's like okay, that's cool, I guess. There's not too much change. It doesn't feel too different. So it's like whatever. Gorebox. Um, I thought Gorebox was gonna be like a fun little just like beat 'em up like sandbox game, kind of like People's Playground, but it's really limited and it's really early on in development, and it just feels lacking. That's all. But it's kind of fun. But I don't know. I didn't love it. Not worth like the $8 I spent on it. Tomato Jones. I only have 1 and 3, but I'm sure 2 is no much better. Awful controls. I hated playing it. Whatever. The number one worst game of this year is Spider. I That is one of the worst games I've ever played. Some may say that I'm the fastest to ever complete it, but let it be known, half the challenge is fucking putting up with that game's shitty mechanics. That game is hell to play. Let it be known. It is not fun. So that's also why I'm confident no one will ever beat me, because no one will ever put up with the fucking tedious work it is to play that game. But, it is what it is. Best movies. At the number 5, I have Bottoms. I really wanted to put it higher, but there are just 4 other movies that I couldn't put below Bottoms. Bottoms, only movie on this list to come out this year, and it's fucking awesome. Great movie, and I feel like no one watched it. It feels like I prefer it over Superbad, and I feel like they're in like a very similar like vein, Superbad and Bottoms, and I think this is the better version. Little Miss Sunshine. I watched this because I like Paul Dano and I like Steve Carell a little. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Very touching movie. I don't remember. I think I may have cried a little. So that's always fun. 3, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I can confirm I did cry a little during this. This is a sad movie, but it's also a very heartwarming movie. And a weird movie. I had to watch it twice. I watched it back to back the same night. It's like 4 or 5 hours of the one movie. Very much worth it because I love serious Jim Carrey. I think that's when he's at his best. 2, La La Land. I can also confirm I cried a lot during this movie. Just in like the last 5 minutes, but let me tell you, they hit you hard in those last 5 minutes, and it hit. That movie's awesome. Ryan Gosling, love him very much. And then number 1, Whiplash, fucking J.K. Simmons and the other dude, I forgot his name. It's like Miles Teller or some shit. Both of them great. They work great together. I've watched the movie like 6 or 7 times already this year. It's awesome. That's the only way to describe it. It's awesome. It's like and it's an hour 30. People don't make good movies in an hour and a half these days. And you can, and Whiplash is proof of that. Start making short movies again. Anyways, worst movie that I watched this year, Cocaine Bear. This movie was pretty bad. The gore was pretty alright, and the fun time I had with friends puts at the number 5. Um, Spy Kids 5. I love the first 3 Spy Kids. I'm indifferent to the 4th one, and I don't like this one. So it was really upsetting to see a bad Spy Kids movie, but it's whatever. Good Burger 2. Again, I think you sit me down, you tell me what my favorite movie of all time is, it's not going to be Good Burger. But you to ask me what my most watched movie of all time is, it is Good Burger 1. I've seen Good Burger 1 probably in the 40 to 50 times, like, range. Like, I've seen that movie a lot, a lot, a lot. And so they announced they're doing a second one, and I got real excited. And it came out, and it feels like a really long SNL skit. And I hate that. And I'm gonna watch it again soon, because maybe I was just being harsh. But right now, I'm really just disappointed. Number 2, superhero movie. I've seen this movie before, but I watched it again this year, and for that alone, it deserves to go at number 2, because that movie's fucking awful. Literally, the reason spoof movies are no longer around today is because of shit like this. Spoof movies, I think, are some of the best genre of movies. You get very good movies from stuff like that, and this was not one of them. This is in the same league as like disaster movie and epic movie. Jack and Jill. Saw this again this year. Don't even remember why. Adam Sandler wasn't meant to play 2 people in a movie. He's barely meant to play 1. Only good thing in that movie is Al Pacino. He's a little silly, but that's it. Best album. Bars Mitzvah by B.L.P. Kosher. I started listening to B.L.P. Kosher kind of as a joke because I thought he was just silly. I actually really liked Bars Mitzvah. It was really good, and I think he gets a lot of hate for the second half of that album because it goes from kind of a rap album to like a gospel pop album. But I kind of fuck with it. So he gets number 5 slot. Number 4, 10,000 Gags. Honestly, realistically thinking about it, I'm actually gonna make real time editing change. Finite Form at the number 4. Finite Form at the 4, Jesus Christ. Very good album from Jack Stover. He made it when he was 17. That's absurd. I'm older than that, and I haven't made anything nearly as good, so it makes me feel like shit, but good for him for being able to make that. At the number 3, 10,000 Gags. Very good sophomore album from 100 Gags. I was a defender of 1,000 Gigs, and I think that album has plenty of problems. Plenty of problems. I think it's not the best, but I liked it. 10,000 Gigs, they showed that they actually can do this shit, like, seriously. And I fuck with every song on that album. That album's near perfect for what it's trying to be. Number 2, Let's Start Here. I think this is my most listened to album of this year. Little Yachty's Let's Start Here. I think the idea of Lil Yachty going and making like a Pink Floyd inspired like psychedelic rock album, that's so cool, and he does it really well. I like the way his vocals mesh with like the instrument. It's unique. I like it. But I don't love it all too much because I was hoping when it came out, I was hoping he would kind of make a shift into making more like experimental stuff. But like as time's gone on, he's kind of back to like his old stuff, and I guess this was kind of like his Igor, him proving that he could do something else, but he just doesn't want to, and I can respect that. But I would have also loved to have seen more of this. Also, I don't like the album cover. I understand it's AI on purpose, but I don't like AI in any sense. Um, Number 1, Geburger. A lot of people probably have not heard of this album. It is by a small artist, Jezebel Garbarbali. I don't know how to say her name. I think it's Gaberguli, something like that. Sorry. Um, it is a very good album. I'm gonna be honest. I've been a fan of Jezebel for maybe 2 or 3 years now, and I liked some of her albums. I like Snailcore Deluxe, and I like The Fridge. but I wasn't too big on like Happy Smile and some of her other ones. Like, I was kind of, it was a mixed bag for me. This came out and this cemented her as like one of my favorite artists. I think this album's perfect. I love everything about it. I love the art. I love the songs. I remember that album came out on SoundCloud 2 days before it did on Spotify. I downloaded SoundCloud so I could listen to it then, and I just sat in my bed for an hour listening to the whole album. It finished. I just hit replay and listened to it all again because it's oh, it's such a good listen. Because in a lot of her other albums, she would just it would be a lot of the same, and there's nothing wrong with that because I like what she does. But in this album, you're getting her high energy, high vocal songs. You're getting stuff like Heads Up and like stuff like that. But then you're also getting her like more calm acoustic songs like Adam and Eve. And then you're getting like her fucking like I think her magnum opus, Bird Bath. That's a 7-minute song and it's beautiful. I would highly recommend listening to Bird Bath. If I'm not stupid, I will put it in the description for you to listen to. And I recommend all these artists and all these albums. But there's 5 songs I'm gonna put here. Best songs. Number 5, Dancing with Somebody. That just came out. That's by Eric DOA. Very good song, very fun, kind of hype. Also, we're gonna throw this in as like a honorable mention. Bird Bath by Jezebel Burgley. Of course, I should have put that here, but I wasn't thinking about it. Number 4, Things You Do to Me by Eric DOA again and Breakins. They have a collab and I heard it for the first time this year and it's awesome. Sorry Not Sorry by Tyler. I think that's one of his best songs he's released since like Igor. I think that's the best off of Call Me If You Get Lost by far. It's very emotional, very well made. 2, Hidden in the Sand, a cover by Connie Jash. This is what got me into Connie Jash, and while I don't love him now, I definitely did love him for a while, and I think this is the song that got me into him, and I think it's what he did to Tally Hall's music is unique whether you like it or not. It's unique and it's different, and it's like a palate cleanser. Because I remember when he dropped Hidden in the Sand, I was getting sick of Tally Hall. I'd been a fan for 3 years. It's hard to be a fan of someone for 3 years when they have like 25 songs out. It's not easy. So when he comes and adds his own twist and his own lyrics to a song, it's so refreshing. And I love all of his songs, even if I don't listen to them that much now. I think they're all good. And number 1, I kind of just went off of my most listened to song here. 757 is my most streamed song. I streamed it like 300 times this year. Awesome song, high energy. I really like the demo 2 version of it. That's a very fun version. I prefer Laura's verse on it, but official version is still good. Um, and that's it. That's everything. Um, I'm doubtful anyone's made it here, but if you did, thank you. And go listen to Birdbath, bitch.